Hello, I'm Noah Fleischer. I'm the Media and Public Relations Liaison here at Heritage, and I'm here today talking with Doug Norwine, Heritage's Director of Music and Entertainment Auctions, and we're talking about Doug's upcoming November 6th and 7th Music and Entertainment Auction. Hi, Doug.
Hey, Noah, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very excited about this upcoming auction.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you got coming up?
Yes, the auction will be held November 6th and 7th here at 3500 Maple Avenue. And as I've said before, every time an auction comes together, as the consignments come in and people make their calls with what they have to offer, the auction takes on its own specific personality. Mm-hmm. This case, we got some items that were not necessarily music and entertainment items, but items of icons from the 20th century. So it naturally seemed fitting to call this our 20th century icons auction. Because, for instance, we've gotten press about this already, a newspaper, November 22nd, 1963, morning edition of the Dallas Morning News, signed by JFK, gotten by a maid with on the morning in Fort Worth. And then we also have Martin Luther King's rocking chair, gifted to him by his editor of his manuscripts, Hermine Popper. Mm-hmm. And then we also have some Jack Ruby items, the hat that he wore when he shot Oswald. And so it took on its own personality. But, of course, along with those items, we have our usual bevy of treasures from the music and entertainment field. We have records. This time we have several Beatles Butcher covers, and those always go for top money. Yeah. The rare Bob Dylan Free Willin' album with the rare tracks. We have those. We have signed Beatles items. We have a Lennon sketch that's signed by him. But Michael Jackson, the tragedy of the summer, his untimely death. We have some great items related to the King of Pop, and they're items like sketches and words written, thoughts written, so you kind of can get inside to his head and find out what made him tick. Not the usual run-of-the-mill Michael Jackson items, but really a wonderful cross-section to find out what was he thinking about, what was on his mind, lyrics, thoughts, design, sketches. We're very excited about. Going back to entertainment, we always have tried to offer an Academy Award. And as you know, with the Academy, there's what's called the Rule of 1950. There are certain Academy Awards you can auction, certain Academy Awards you cannot auction. Well, what we do is we just cut to the chase. We have a very good relationship with the head historian of the Academy and the legal counsel. So we call them right up and say, we've been offered this, can we sell it? They say yay or nay. They've blessed this one. We sold documentary Oscars before. We had Alice Brady supporting actress Oscar, when it didn't look like the traditional Oscar. It was in 1937. But this one is 1946 Best Supporting Actress Anne Revere for her supporting actress role in National Velvet.
Incredible.
The wonderful vehicle for Elizabeth Taylor. So this is a major Academy Award from a major movie, and we think that's going to really do well. We have an Emmy Award. We have 2 Emmy Awards. One Emmy Award is Raymond Burr's, 1959, for Perry Mason.
Wow. We
have Anne Revere's Tony Award, which is another fine item. I mean, I have a list here that I have to go through. There's so many highlighted items. Charlie Chaplin, Greta Garbo. We have her application for driver's licenses.
Not one.
Not one, but two. Two. I mean, it's ridiculous. We have a signed book by Albert Einstein. Wow. You know, it's wonderful, wonderful stuff. We have Jack Ruby's murder arrest report, framed with other items, you know, after he shot Oswald and was brought into custody. And ironically, they brought Oswald down from the cell. Ruby shot Oswald, and then he went back to the same cell that Oswald went to. Frank Sinatra, there's some fabulous Frank Sinatra archives. We have these photos taken by a gentleman who was a freelance photographer in New York, and they're private pictures that he took, that many of them have never been published before. We have the Kennedys, we have the Tony Awards, the Grammy Awards, JFK, Sammy Davis Jr. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And for the photo collector, these are wonderful, rare relics of the past, capturing these icons of the 20th century.
I've seen some of those pictures, and they're pretty amazing.
They're wonderful. I mean, they kept, the grease paint's off, the makeup's off. These are them on the street. Marlon Brando, to Harry Truman, to Jackie Robinson. It's certainly a wonderful thing. Marilyn Monroe immediately comes to mind when you talk about the icons.
Sure.
We usually try to have some good Marilyn Monroe items. This time I think we've outdone ourselves. There was a restaurant called the Big Top in Reddington Beach, California. Marilyn and her then husband Joe DiMaggio were supping, and somebody went up and had them sign the menu. Marilyn Monroe, Joe DiMaggio on one menu.
Did they circle what they had to eat?
No, they didn't.
Oh, no.
It was actually the kiddies menu. It's a clown face. Okay. But you'll see that if you go to ha.com. You can see the previews of our items on ha.com entertainment section. But it reminds me of the baseball that the sports department sold, signed by Marilyn and Joe, for like $191,000. Hard to find them together on one item, and this is poignant because it was while they were married, enjoying a romantic dinner together. Then in 1957, Marilyn had been married at that time to Arthur Miller, and she had her first miscarriage. And the consigner of this letter, his father wrote to Marilyn and said, "My wife just had a miscarriage, and I feel your pain. I want to express my sympathy." And she wrote back a wonderfully poignant thank you letter on MMM, Marilyn Monroe Miller Stationery. Signed it in full, Marilyn Monroe Miller, rare form of her signature. Yes. And it comes with the original transmission envelope with the date stamp on it. So these have all been authenticated by our third-party authenticators. And those are two of the finest Marilyn items you'll find. We have her personal phone book. We have one of her prop books from one of her great movies. Elvis Presley items. We have, costumes. We have a John Wayne coat, and me being a horror fan, we have Boris Karloff's black tunic outfit that he wore in the great vehicle that he started with Bela Lugosi, the Black Cat.
Amazing, and I know you're very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I mean, things like that just don't exist. Several great Jimi Hendrix autographs.
I know there's a Michael Jackson lot that you're particularly excited about that didn't necessarily isn't from Michael, but from Michael to somebody.
This is wonderful. This is a great side story. Michael Jackson idolized Fred Astaire. Well, Fred Astaire dug Michael Jackson, too. He knew that he was a great dancer. But Michael couldn't get Fred's attention. He wrote him and didn't hear anything. So finally, he had a special, I think 4 or 5 platinum albums of all his greatest records put together in a frame.
Record.
Michael's greatest records. And it says, to my hero, Fred Astaire, who I love, from Michael Jackson. He presented that to Fred. This came from Fred's estate. And while that broke the ice, they became friends. And, Fred Astaire said, he went on record talking about what a great dancer Michael Jackson was. Now, that's like a wonderful, about as close to one-of-a-kind item as you could get. But how about a trumpet signed by Miles Davis? We have a saxophone signed by Bill Clinton. Bix Beiderbecke, now for the jazz aficionado, this is gonna make your heart stand still. Died prematurely in the 20s. This is a signed photo of Bix Beiderbecke, who was Young Man with a Horn, starring Kirk Douglas, was a movie based upon Bix's life. We have that. We have a Gone with the Wind script. We have 2 letters signed by Fritz Lang from the 1914, 1913, the earliest. He was the director of Metropolis. These are very, very rare items. Also, we were blessed to get a collection of film scripts that's one of the most thorough and complete group lottings of classic film scripts that will ever be offered.
Wow.
And then we got from another collector client television scripts. So we're going to have some amazing television script lots and movie script lots that everybody will be excited about. More Edie Adams, Ernie Kovacs items, of course. And Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar.
Yes, I'm glad
he's doing an interview. I mean, I'm telling you, this list, I need a list. I need a scorecard on this stuff. Stevie Ray Vaughan's doing an interview in Australia, and he was just a big musical maniac. I mean, he had to play all the time. They had an acoustic guitar in the corner of the radio studio. It's being taped. So we also have the CD with the guitar. Stevie picks up the guitar, and before they get the interview going, while they're doing the interview, he's playing just the heck out of that guitar. That guitar he then signed, gave back. We've got that guitar, so it's a performance-used Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar, and you can hear him play it. It's unheard of. I mean, you don't get that. I mean, again,
it's still in the original tuning that.
Yeah, the Stevie Boy used it, and Elvis Presley's microphone. I said Marilyn Monroe's personal phone book, Holy Grail from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Eric Clapton signed Blackie, the limited edition replica that they put out.
I want to be clear. That's not.
It's not the Blackie. No, but we have so many great signed guitars. Bob Dylan, and our usual great array of movie posters. I mean. Then you go to the Martin Luther King chair. We go back to that. We go back to the Einstein book. We go back to the Kennedy newspaper. This is really, I think, my favorite auction. 20th Century Icons. We'll be at Heritage. Come on November 6th and 7th, 3500 Maple Avenue. We'll have a live auction, and you go to ha.com, the music and entertainment part of the site. Click on there, you can preview, and in a couple of weeks you can bid. But this really is going to be a great auction, one that I'm ultimately proud of, and one that I guarantee any of you who look at, peruse, and check out the offerings that are up there already, you will find more than several items that you say, A, I can't believe that these are being offered, and B, I gotta have them. So good luck, happy bidding. Call me personally, write to me, Doug at ha.com. Doug N at ha.com. I'd be happy to answer your questions. I've got the best team, and they're there to help you. And no, it's a pleasure to talk to you about this.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Doug, and we certainly, everybody's looking forward to this auction. It's going to be great.
It's nice to be excited about something, and there's certainly cause to be excited.
Absolutely. This is going to be a great auction. So I encourage anybody watching this to go to www.ha.com, click on the music and entertainment section, and the 20th Century Icons auction, November 6th and 7th. So, Doug, thanks for being here. It's nice talking to you.
My pleasure, Pally. Yes.